by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we gather. We extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. Congratulations to our umpires for the Division 1 Grand Final, Ian Gill, Toby Colford, Toby Fraser and Sean Lowe. On the boundary, Thomas Elford and Will Elford. In goal, Andrew Wasty and Patrick Wasty. Good luck to both the Basin and the Boronia. The road to the Grand Final, the Basin defeated the Boronia in the semi-final by 28 points. And Boronia, losing to the Deakin semi-final, defeated Mark Fortunes here in the preliminary final by 5 points. I will now ask all to be upstanding with the players and umpires for the Australian National Anthem.
Welcome everyone once again, this time for the Division 1 Women's Deakin University Grand Final. It's Boronia up against the Basin. These two teams met a fortnight ago in the first qualifying final at the time that was, with the Basin winning by 27 points. These two teams have battled for the top spot all season long, and now it comes down to this. It's the most anticipated of the three grand finals here today at H.E Parker. The other two both had a clear favourite going into the game. We saw Murrelbach, heavy favoured, go in to win the game comfortably. And again in the second one, it was East Ringwood defeating the Surrey Park Panthers, who were also favourites in that one, East Ringwood. But this one is a genuine split. My name is Dylan Smith, and joining me on the call team today will be Ryan Long. Currently, he's not with us. He's off doing other duties, but I'll be bringing this one in, and I am very excited just to run through some of the key players heading into this contest. For Boronia, they're bringing into the team Burkett and Flanagan, both premiership players last year with Vermont, and the Basin bring in Zoe Haritos, who was pivotal in one of their early season wins against Boronia. She did not play in the final 2 weeks ago and looms as one of the most important players in this game. To go through Boronia's lineup, Delta Greenhole, the speed that she brings off the wing, she is going to be pivotal going into this contest, as is Rachel Quirk in the ruck. Rachel Slater, one of the best players all season and last year for Rachel Slater. I'm now joined with Ryan Long, who's come back from doing 1,001 other things today. He's had a busy day.
Busy day, Dill, but I love it, love it. Grand final day, fantastic to be here. I'm sure you've summed up pretty well already.
Oh, I'm trying to get through it all. There's a lot with these two teams. It's been a huge story of the season, really.
Yeah, it certainly has, and we're all set to go for the Division 1 Senior Women's Grand Final for 2023. Out of the ruck, Baker. There's Burkett for the Hawks. Grimmett. No one able to get a clear possession forward. Tried to get a ball to the foot. This is a Quirk. Sends the Hawks forward towards Gottliebson. Picked up here by Kufel. Swung around on the right and send it forward. And there's Baker playing in defence. I've already called her out in the middle. She wasn't there. She's out in the back line at the moment, and she's taken the mark and found Grimmett.
Takes those intercept marks so well. And Grimmett's another important player, although that kick's not a best. Almost cut off by Gottliebson, but doing it well over there is Dalton. She goes to support, does Grimmett. She's there for the handball receive. She'll come more centrally, but there's a lot of Baronia players. It's Rachel Slater, in fact. In fact, it's Steph Phillips. Got those two confused a couple of times. She heads out to Kufel, who's just going to track this ball. She's got Rachel Watt for company. She puts a lot of pressure on her. Just trying to flick the handball out. Rachel quirks there, and here goes Slater. She comes into the middle. She looks for Davidson. Julia Baker's sweating on her, but she's able to turn and kick. Heads up forward. Meeting this ball is Crammon. She's come into the side as well, has Crammon. Got Leapson. She'll track this ball, try to keep it in. The Basin player does really well there in Talbot. Throws it on the boot, but only as far as Quirk, who picks it up with one hand. Surges inside 50. The Basin repel, though. They come out here, they've got runners. This time it's Priest with an acre of space. She just bombs it on the boot. Looks up there for Monk. But Monk's got company from Decker. She tries to stop it. Here's
good pressure.
Samargas. She can't get it out. Decker's there for Baronia. Salente's there doing a defensive work. And here goes Brotto. Brotto, is she pushed in the back? She is! And Brotto will line up for the Basin's first goal inside 2 minutes. A hot start to this one, Ryan.
Yeah, certainly right. The pressure's there. The intensity's up. And this is the dangerous player up forward that Baronia is certainly going to keep an eye on.
Premiership player last season with Rowville, in fact. She comes in and she gets on the board. The first one for the Basin. One straight 6 plays Baronia yet to score. And that is the last thing that the Hawks wanted to happen.
No, I didn't want her to have an early one from a Hawks perspective, but I mean, it's been very fast-paced at the moment. And just those forward 50 injuries, they look so dangerous. They've got Brotto down there, but they've got so many other options as well. And obviously, it'll be interesting to see if Baker plays the full game in the back line. I think she will. There's the ball back in the middle. Chance now for the Hawks. Sue Phillips got plenty of space in front of her. Kicks inside 50. Out the back. The Basin have a few numbers. Who can get there first? Got Leapson. He's wrapped up in the tackle. 3 minutes in, we'll get a ball up inside 50 for the Hawks. They trail by 6 points. Division 1 Grand Final. H.E Parker Reserve. Stakes cannot get any bigger than this. Ducking and weaving there. Greenhow got the handball off. Long kick in towards the forward line. Punched away, and that will be out of bounds. Talbot did very well there for the Bears. 3.5 minutes into this first quarter. 1 straight 6. Baronia at the score.
And she was a bit of an intrigue, Talbot, whether she was going to play forward or back. She's been the swing player for them this season. As Winbanks just goes up uncontested, green hole at the foot of it. She's going to be so dangerous today. In there is Gottliebson trying to barge through. She's held up eventually. I think that's Donnelly who holds her up. Her tackling pressure was noted in that first final as well. Crammon tries to go off the ground. Could have been a kicking in danger. Umpire says nothing doing. Greeno lays the tackle. We'll have another ball up inside 50 for Baronia. And it's Quirk this time. Flicks it out to Davidson. Davidson with a flying kick. And just to the right. And it's 6 plays 1. 4 minutes 20 gone in the first quarter.
Only found a bit of space then. Julia Baker to take the kicking for the Bears. The skipper. Minor premiers this season. Both sides coming down from Premier B and have been the 2 front runners in this competition. Baker to clear it out for their back half. Hawks have got some numbers underneath it. Brooke Priest for the Bears is first to the ball. We'll get a ball up here outside the Hawks 50. 5 minutes into this contest. Crowd looks great out here at H.E Parker Reserve. The ball up, tapped forward there by Quirk. Chance now. Phillips, the handball off. Gottliebson gets past one. The kick forward finds Kufel. That's a mark and a chance, potentially for a set shot here. Almost went to play on, but she'll take the set shot.
Didn't look too confident.
No one's on the mark, so she'll run forward, streaming towards goal, and that's a minor score. So Baronia moved to 2 behinds. The Basin 1 straight 6. 5 minutes gone in this first quarter.
Certainly able to lock it in there, Baronia. Putting a lot of pressure on the Bears as Julia Baker brings us back in. Probably couldn't get a safer pair of hands for the Basin to bring it back in than Julia Baker. Captained this side so well all year. She looks upfield for options. Pops it up. Alston's there. Waiting down at the bottom is Quirk. She punches it towards Delta Greenhold, who tries to break a Grimmett tackle. She can't. Flicked up there is Carroll. Played really well in that previous final as well. And Monk looks for this one. There's a lot of Baronia players at the foot of the ball, though. Decker lays a pretty strong tackle on Watt, and will have a ball up. So many important players around the ball for both teams, and some big performances coming today. Winbanks taps it down to Alston. She can't get a run at the ball. In and under there is Decker. We'll have another ball up in the center of the ground. As the two rucks go at it again, it's going to be a huge battle. Greenold, she gets it out to a running player. They go inside 50. Julia Baker, strong hands. And she's got a free player in the center in Weldon.
So Weldon moves it along towards the wing here on the far side. Kept forward, the Bears did well. I've got some numbers here, tapping it forward there, Samaragas. They continue to enter the inside 50, just tapping it along. Finally, it's cut off. The handball there from McCage. And wrapped up in a tackle is Quirk.
Big tackle there by Monk.
Certainly a dangerous position here for the Hawks. Wouldn't want to give up the first two in the opening 7 or 8 minutes. Quirk in the ruck, tapped away. Olsen got her hands to it. They keep it going forward. Chance now. Carroll was there.
Kicking in danger.
And it's a free kick to the Hawks, so they survive for the moment. They've got to clear this out. They'll kick backwards. Almost there. Cahill did well. Didn't have it and earned herself a free kick, so Emily Cahill now in the back pocket for the Hawks. Short kick forward. Quirk is there. Might come back to Cahill. Got Leibson's there, putting on the Shepherd. Cahill, kick was smothered. And now running onto this, it's Monk who puts a shot on goal to the left. Minor score. The Basin 1-1-7, Baronia 2 behind. 8 minutes gone in this first quarter. The Division 1 Grand Final. Hot start here, Dylan Smith.
It is, and I'm looking at that forward line for the Basin, and not a really strong matchup for Monk as well, who could be really important in this game. She played super well a fortnight ago and had another great season, and she's got that extra height that they might not be able to deal with. It's the Basin, Baronia look to go forward. This one's marked by Decker. She looks up. She's got running players. Greenold's got to go, and she does. She takes an excellent intercept mark there. And she just looks up. Here's Slater. So they calm things down for the moment, Baronia. They've only conceded the 1 goal. Another target's found. And here go the runners. Here's Phillips. She spent it before she had it. Eventually, she's tackled by Dalton, and we'll have a ball up just outside 50 for the Hawks. They trail by 5 points with almost 10 minutes gone. Winbanks does the rucking, gets it down to Alston. Murrell was there. And the Basin look to get on their bike. Here's Carroll. She just puts a little ball up in front of Lily Grace Murrell. Gets a good handball out. I think this is Rachel Watt streaming forward. Kicks it in the direction of Brotto. She's already got one. She slips her opponent. Just overruns this one. Quirk's coming back to support. It's a big tackle from Quirk, and it's going to be a free kick to Brotto. Dealt with heavily there was Brotto, and she'll kick from a fairly tight angle, albeit close to goal. So
boundary, just quickly.
Head down to Kate on the boundary side.
Both coaches' boxes are actually quite calm and considered compared to the previous 2 games. They're very just controlled.
They're doing a fabulous job there, because there's a lot of nervous energy in the venue. You can sort of feel the crowd from up here as Brotto comes in. The kick looks good. The goal umpire doesn't move. Danielle Brotto has 2.
Well, they're certainly going to have to find a way to lower her impact on this game. And it's already the first 2 goals of this contest, and just so dangerous. And a lot of games that she plays in, sides do give away free kicks because they are worried about her. So you do have to be very careful.
Every time she gets that ability to roll her opponent and go in under the back there, and I think it's already 2 kicks, 2 goals, so concerning.
So back in the middle, Winbanks with the hit out to Slater here for the Hawks, sending the Hawks forward, inside 50. A lot of Bears sort of went up against each other, allowed the Hawks to get this at ground level in Phillips. She was tackled though, as they look to clear it out, the Bears. They've done well so far in this contest. They try and kick forward that was smothered by McCage, and we'll get a ball up here back in the middle. 11 minutes gone in this first quarter. 2-1-13, 2 behinds. Deakin University Division 1 Grand Final. Winbanks went up by herself, got the hit out. Grimmett, handball backwards. Fumbling ball here. Chance of the Hawks to make a contest, and they do. Kufel got the handball out, was cut off by Winbacks. Grimmett, and they're out now. Donnelly, it was turned over though. Fell into the hands of Glare, who goes inside 50. Out the back, a chance, tap forward. Dean. She does get dangerous in those sort of situations.
You'd think she's got to have a big game today.
Yeah, probably has to hit the scoreboard, you'd think. They are to get the job done in the ruck. Tap down, and 2 Bears make a contest. And we'll get a ball up inside 50 here for the Hawks. 12 minutes gone in this first quarter. 2-1-13 the Bears. Baronia 2 behinds.
Just early, it looks like Ali Gottliebsen is playing forward for Baronia. Quite often she sits across half back, so that's an interesting watch. As the handball comes out to Kufel, she just couldn't collect it. Delta Greeno lays a really good tackle. In there is Heritos. Greeno gets it out. Here's Gottliebsen. And the umpire's found a free kick in the direction of Alston, I believe, for an illegal shepherd by Delta Greeno. A really interesting one. I didn't quite see what happened there.
No, I didn't either. I was looking at my paperwork.
Boundary.
Head down to Kate.
There was a little bit of holding the Guernsey as well as the shepherding.
Right. So just illegally dealt with there was Donnelly. She heads out towards Grimmett, but it's Samagas that tracks this one. Got a bit of pace, just puts it up the line, but it's all Baronia with the numbers. They bring it back inside. Here's Decker. Decker can look up. She kicks towards Paige Dean, but it's really well intercepted by Julia Baker. And her kick is not the best, and it goes out of bounds, and Steph Phillips will bring the Hawks back in. They trail by 11 points, 13 minutes gone in this first quarter. And I'll really be looking to strike next. She goes up looking for Slater. Slater's well held by Watt. The Basin are able to get it out, but only as far as Quirk, who intercepts. Another player super important today is Rachel Quirk. Winning that ruck battle will go a long way for Baronia winning the game. As the Basin look to repel again off half back. Heads in towards Murrell, but Winbanks just grabs the ball with one hand. Goes forward, there is that player in Brotto. It's a strong mark. Either playing in front or behind. She's so clever. She looks into Winbanks, just puts it out in front. The Baronia player should have the pace here to beat the ruck. And in the end, the Basin do a pretty good job just to lock it in, Ryan.
Yeah, certainly did. Another opportunity for a goal. They've already got 2 on the board. 2-1-13 to 2 behinds. Tap down. We can get the first possession of the footy. The Bears do. And now a chance for McCage for the Hawks. Got past one, bouncing ball. Is cut off by Priest. He'll send it into attack again, and standing under it, that's a strong mark. Again, McCage. To send the Hawks back out of their defensive half, and she's going to pass it right back to Priest. Almost got over the back, and now they're out. Here's Slater. Gets past one, avoided the tackle and kicks it into the corridor. Dean's there, goes out the back. A chance now for Weldon. Kicks it into space. Who can run onto this first? Should be Collins or Dean. Dean does. But she's well corralled by some Bears players, and this will be held up here. And we're going to get a ball up on the far side. 15 minutes gone in this first quarter. Out at H.E Parker Reserve. Got the Vents men's after this. We've had Division 4, Division 2 Grand Finals, busy day. Quamby Reserve, Division 3 Premier. A lot to take in as the ball is brought back out. Slater, and tackled to the ground by Donnelly. So we're still hovering around the Basin's forward 50. 15 and a half minutes gone. They lead by 11 points.
The Hawks sure would like a goal in this final 5 minutes of the first quarter, as it's picked up there by the Basin player, gets it out towards Carroll, and another ball up. It's right in the heart of the forward 50 for the Basin. I don't think they could be any happier with the way they've started this game. Looks super impressive so far. Here go the Hawks. Greenhold's there, as is Donnelly. She gets a really good handball out to Horitos. She goes inside 50, and it's Alston who marks. So good overhead for her size, Zoe Alston. She looks up for Brotto. Brotto's lurking. There's two Baronia players. She lays a bump, picks it up, does Brotto. Snaps. She hasn't. She has!
Oh.
She's got a third. 3 kicks, 3 goals. Danielle Brotto.
Well, that's a phenomenal start, and she's already got one hand on a blue ribbon medal if she goes like this for the afternoon. She's already kicked 10 in a game before.
And that was something out of nothing.
Yeah, she's made the most of every opportunity, Dylan.
Gentlemen, that was just goal number 55 for Brotto.
She scores goals for fun, does Danielle Brotto. Just another one to the tally. As we go back to the centre, it's Monk who's gone into the ruck for the Basin, up against Rachel Quirk. Quirk wins out. It's in the direction of Baker. Some support there for the Basin player. A really good tackle laid by Rachel Slater. We'll have another ball up.
Back in the ruck here. Tapped forward by Quirk, and she might just pick it up herself. She's tackled. Didn't quite get her foot to that one, so Baker is rewarded with the free kick at centre half back. Kicks it towards the broadcast wing. Taking the mark there, Jamie Monk, the vice captain. Down the line, big fly here, out the back. Hawks cannot afford to let another one slip before quarter time. So we approach the last 2 minutes here. Breaking away now. Olsen sends them inside 50 again. The Basin falls into the hands of Grimmett. She gets past one, straightens up. Minor score. 3-2-20 to the Hawks. 2 behinds. 18 minutes gone in this first quarter.
She's been super impressive as well, has Grimmett. Loved her stoppage work and then breaking free on goal there.
Boundary.
Head down to Kate.
My mistake, 53, not 55. I was giving her an extra 2.
You were, in fact, yeah, she was on 50 going into this game. As Baronia look to exit, Gottliebsen's underneath this one. Rachel Watt does really well to spoil. Comes back to Gottliebsen though. She's got Quirk, chips a little ball over towards her, and Quirk just puts that ball in one hand, runs through the centre, goes towards Slater. They've got about a minute and a half to go. Looks like Basin have the numbers. Talbot's there, as is Julia Baker. And they clear again the Basin. They've been able to repel all these attacks, but it's coming back through Quirk. Throws it on the boot. She's got a runner out there. She can pick this up in time. It's Watson, the captain. Really well tackled there by Burton Putz, who's been a fantastic lockdown defender, and the Basin get away again. This time it's Phillips. Gottliebsen lays a tackle, and we'll have a ball up. Pretty close to the Baronia forward 50. There's 45 seconds to go in this first quarter.
So is there a chance for a late Hawks goal? Quirk tried to get the tap out. McCage is here, bumping into her. Zoe Alston. The Bears are just going to be happy to see this 30 seconds play out right here. Don't want to give away a score.
Remembering
after
back
such
to
a strong first quarter.
That earlier final too, it was actually the Hawks that led.
Yes, opposite way round. Grimmett tapped it forward to Alston, and then they send themselves forward. Can they have a late score here? Winbanks. 10 seconds left. Passes it off. Finds Murrell. Inside 50. Brotto's there. Brotto's in front. Bouncing ball. Hawks are going to have to stop him. And they manage to get away. At quarter time, Dylan, it's been all the Bears. 3-2-20, leading Baronia 2 behinds. As you said, it was pretty much the same scoreline the other way round at quarter time of the semi-final. Can we see the reversal happen this week?
We certainly could. We know what Baronia can do, what they did in the back half of the season, and we also know that they've beaten this side by 47 points in a previous game. They can score, and they can score quickly. but they are going to have to get some advantage in that centre of the ground, because if the Basin get any looks inside that forward 50, Brotto is going to score.
Yeah, she's looking very dangerous. She has all 3 goals of the Bears. At quarter time, 3-2-20 the Basin, lead Boronia 2 behinds.
Welcome back to the Deakin University Division 1 Women's Grand Final. This time between the Basin and Boronia. We're at quarter time and the Basin lead 3 goals to 20 to Boronia, just the 2 points. So they hold an 18-point lead, the Basin. They defeated the Hawks 2 weeks ago in the first final to qualify for this match. But the two teams have been at it all year.
Boundary.
We'll go boundary to Kate Green.
I'm just grabbing Mark for the Basin. Mark, what was your message to the girls for this quarter?
Oh, I'd just be aware of Slater's influence. I think we've done all right around the contest in terms of matching up, but they seem to always go to Slater and look for Slater, so we're just going to be aware of that. Other than that, I thought our hands was really good, which gave us a lot of opportunities with the short 45 and then going in. So just keeping that attitude up and try and build on this momentum.
Okay, thanks very much, Mark.
Fantastic to hear from Mark, the senior coach of the Basin Football Club, leading by 18 points. He might be getting an interview down at the Baronia camp, but just quickly, around the grounds at H.E Reserve, the Wolves are off to a flyer, 21-0 over the Eastern Devils, who have not lost a game all year. Have only lost one in 2 years. That would be incredible result if they managed to pull off that upset. But
yeah, not dissimilar to, say, a Surrey Park rolling in East Ringwood.
yeah,
there.
similar sort of
Boundary.
as we go boundary side again. Kate Green.
Okay, Scott, message to the girls for this quarter.
The message was simple. There's 4 quarters of footy and that's one. So we've got 3 to go and there's a lot we can tweak, but just starts with our work rate and intensity. So if we can level that up, lift the tackle count and apply forward pressure like that, we give ourselves an opportunity to get back in this game.
Thanks very much,
They
Scott.
almost did exactly that. Finished with a goal almost, just a minus score on the clearance there from Slater.
It was almost like Scott was commentating on that
Yeah,
one
boys.
there.
We can send it down to him and if he wants to, if he can call the next quarter. That's a minus score, 3 behinds to the
I'll
Basin,
ask him.
3-2-20.
I'll ask him. I think he'd be very happy to do it.
And that flying shot on goal there from Delta Greeno, I just think she's going to be so important in determining this result. It's Julia Baker that brings the Basin back in, and it's beautifully marked there by Rachel Watt. She looks up the line, throws it on the left boot. Got Alston in there. She's tackled pretty heavily by Slater, and we'll have another ball up. Murrell lurks on the outside of the pack. Quirk taps it down. That's Watt who comes through again and gets it. This time it's Grimmett. Her kick gets cut off by Quirk, who heads inside 50. Some dangerous players down there. It's Crammond here, gets it out to Greenhold. Breaks the tackle. Delta Greenhold misses to the left again. And the opportunities there starting to mount for Baronia. That's 5 behinds and yet to kick a goal. Delta Greeno with some really good opportunities. She'll have to start kicking those, Ryan, if they want to get back into this one.
Certainly right. A couple of missed opportunities. 0 goals, 4-3-2, but they are pressing early in the opening couple of minutes of this second quarter out at H.E Parker Reserve. If you're coming down, do not bring dogs. I don't know how many times we've had to tell people, don't bring dogs to the finals. Seen a few already today, as the ball is cleared back out of their defensive half. Slater, pass it off. Well, there's Slater, inside 50, deep into attack. If they can get a mark, out the back, Basin player right in the last line of defence. This is a very dangerous spot for the Bears. And we're going to get a ball up just outside the Baronia goal, trailing by 16 points.
Talbot was lucky there. She took them on, she ran through.
Yeah, very, very close. So, ball up. Can the Hawks get a goal from this? Another tackle and another ball up. Right in front of the goals. The tap out. There's Alston. Happy to see that out of bounds. We'll get another ball up. Coming up to the 3rd minute mark of this second quarter. Can Baronia get the first of the second quarter, make things interesting? Tapped out there. Alston got the handball into space. Quirk was tackled. And there she is again, Alston, fighting for the football. They get another ball up inside 50 once more.
That midfield's looking so impressive for the Basin. Alston, Grimmett, Watt, they're all in there. As Rachel Quirk gets the hit out here for Baronia, but there's a chase down tackle on Parrott. And I think the Basin will get rewarded there. Looks like Burton Putz who's going to take the kick. Another excellent season for her. She looks up, but she only sees Rachel Slater, so she says, I don't want to go anywhere near you with the ball. Pops it up. Carroll's there. As is Paige Dean, who just kicks it on the boot there, and Greeno is at the bottom of that. It's a little bit fortuitous, but she just finds it in a lap. She's probably too far out to score. So Rachel Quirk looks like a pretty good option. She just sort of pops it up. Paige Dean once more. They flick a handball out the Basin. look to exit defence. Out there is Carroll. And the ball eventually will find the line. Tracking it down there was Stephanie Gottliebsen for the Basin. We have 2 Gottliebsens, 1 for either side. A little bit confusing at times. So we get the ball up here. Winbanks wins the hit out. But it's Baronia who shark it through Phillips. She's tackled by Alston, but Phillips gets it out. This time through McCage. McCage goes inside 50, and Davidson does really good body work, but she's been pinged for a push. And it's the Basin who repel again. Salante lays a tackle on the Basin player. Gottliebsen's there again for the Basin. She's over it and she's tackled. We'll have another ball up as this game just quietens off a little bit after the frenetic start. The Basin get the tap out. And it's pinging around in there. I think Rachel Slater's at the bottom of the pack on the far side of the ground, non-commentary side. The Basin lead, 3 goals to 20 to 4 points for Baronia. 5 minutes gone in the second quarter as Baronia look to push forward. They get it out eventually to Greenold. She's got some runners there. Slater's trying to help her, but in the end it's Grimmett who gets out of defence. She pops the ball up for Lily Grace Murrell, who tucks it under the arm and runs. She does really well. She doesn't want the left foot, so she just comes inside on the right. She can't find a target, but Monk is there. Decker does the clean-up, and she finds a target in the centre of the ground. Really nicely worked there by Baronia. This is Burkett.
Yep.
Burkett goes around Grimmett really nicely, throws it on the boot. Rachel Watts there in front of it, traps it. Big collision there with Burkett. And again, we have a ball up back where we started at the beginning of this quarter.
6 minutes gone, second quarter, the Division 1 Grand Final. Tap out, Alston's there, couldn't quite pick it up, but she's given a free kick. So back in the middle of the ground can send the Bears forward. Baronia have done all the attacking in this quarter, but trail by 16 points after 3 goals from Danielle Brotto in the first quarter. Chance now for the Bears. They're going to slap this forward. Grimmett, inside 50 mark taken. Lily Grace Murrell be kicking from the arc, so she'll send it towards goal. Out the back there was Carroll. Baronia's defence did very well to keep that in front. Kufel now takes on an opponent, just gets her kick away before Priest could tackle. And she's going to be able to pick this up, Brooke Priest. Inside 50, turnover, Kufel. Down the line and towards the boundary line. And it's cut off here, and this will remain in play as Rachel Slater picks this up, can take a bounce. She's got a player red hot on her. Just gets her kick away into space, so it's all Bears, and they've got the numbers. They'll send it where it came from, though. And standing under it, McCage to take the intercept mark. Hawks down the line. Big pack of players out the back. Slater will make the tackle. Wrapping up Donnelly. 7.5 minutes gone. On the far side, Baronia have started to settle themselves into this game in this second quarter. The tap down, Phillips. Handball back to Kufel. Had time to pick it up. Went back to Phillips. She's wrapped up by Priest, and we're right back where we started.
So far, the difference in the game, it's Brotto really, isn't it? It's both teams have had their moments to be able to score, but Brotto just with that finishing class, she's been able to put the Basin on the scoreboard. As they come back inside here, the Basin. Lily Grace Murrell tracks this ball. She was best on ground in the first final between the two teams. Here goes Donnelly. She smacks it on the boot, puts it out in front of Hurry-Tosh. Winbanks is there just to give a little bit of support. And eventually the Basin are stopped. And it's a tackle laid by McDowell. Here goes Alston for the Basin. She's met by Salante. Murrell picks it up. She's tackled by Gottliebsen. 8.5 minutes gone in this second quarter. It's a 16-point margin. Winbanks again. Gets it down, this time to Watt. Watt throws it on the left. She's got Brotto there. I don't think it's going to sit. It's going to trickle out of bounds. And it should be a Baronia kick. inside the defensive 50. Crowd building nicely here. And Baronia find the target as they come out of defense. This one's Salante, I believe. She's out on that far side. Looks up for a target, Collins. She can't mark. And we'll get a ball up out there on that far side. Ball sort of getting stuck out there at times, isn't it, Ryan?
Yeah, it certainly has. Bit of a stalemate in this quarter.
Yeah.
The Hawks have done most of the attacking, but have only managed the 2 behind to this quarter, so probably the damage hasn't been done. The Bears haven't had to pay for anything yet. And that hot start from Danielle Brotto in the first quarter, getting the first 3 goals of the game as the Hawks try and link up. Collins down the line, over Dean's head, falls in the hands of Quirk, picks it up nicely, and she'll receive it again. Now she's got space. She can have a shot on goal for the Hawks first. There's a defender on the line to take the mark. And the Bears save the day.
It's Talbot.
On the last line of defence, was able to take the mark. She'll play on. Passes it to Baker in the pocket, and she sends a long kick out of defence. Priest is there. She takes the mark down the line, and they've moved this very well at the moment. Wrapping up in a tackle. Olsen gets her handball away into space. Carroll's there. Underneath it, the Hawks get their first McCage. They go backwards to go forwards, and in the middle of the ground is Caitlin Grimmett standing under it to take the mark and to send the Bears into attack.
The Grimmett kicks towards Lily Grace Murrell. Makes a lot of work for her to do. She's met with a Gottliebsen tackle. We'll have another ball up in the centre of the ground. Just wonder if Rachel Quirk, she perhaps could have tried to take on the Julie Baker tackle there. Got a little bit closer to goal. In the end, they miss out. Gottliebsen tries to burst through. She's in a Rachel Watt tackle. We'll have another ball up. Something's got to give here, you'd think, in this second quarter. It's Decker and Monk in the ruck. Both go at it. Nobody really wins that one. Gets it down to Watt. Tackled by Gottliebsen. Baronia have the numbers. It's kicked forward by Phillips. But again, Julia Baker's there. She often is. She comes out of defence, looks for Murrell. Pretty good player to put the ball out in front of. She's got pace. She comes back inside. It's intercepted by Phillips. She throws a handball out to Kufel. Kufel's got Quirk. I don't know how Rachel Quirk's found so much space. She just throws a handball there in front of Flanagan. Flanagan can run onto this one for Baronia. Heads towards goal. It's just gone across the far side. And in the end...
Well, that's a good result.
It is a good result. I think, although the Basin will get the kick, being a last touch.
That's right, I was thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, so the Basin will bring us back in, and there's... At the moment for Baronia, it's just a little bit of a lack of a cutting edge when they go inside forward 50.
Well, here's your chance through Slater. So she goes into the hot spot, and a mark taken by Quirk. And it's a must kick because they've had plenty of opportunities in this second quarter. And this would bring the margin back to 10 points and put themselves right back into this contest. They've owned the play in this quarter. Off a couple of steps towards goal. It's going to fall short. Punched back into play. Still alive. Grimmett, handball off. Tight on the boundary line. This might go out. Phillips will try and keep it in for the Hawks. Wrapped up. We'll get a ball up. Bit of an update out at Quamby Reserve. The Devils are yet to score. South Belgrave, 28 points. 24 points.
Astonishing
4 goals
stuff.
for 28. That is an upset brewing as a fired kick there in the post.
Upsets do not get much bigger than that. It's Julia Baker to bring us back in. She looks so solid down there in defence for the Basin. Pack forming.
Gentlemen,
We'll go down to Kate.
just a quick question. Do you think it's a case of one team having a lapse in their discipline that will break this game open from where we are at the moment?
Potentially. I think Baronia have done a really good job around the ball in this quarter just to get it forward, but they just haven't had that player with a little bit of class. They've kicked a few behinds, and you know, those sorts of things can really hurt you in grand finals. But they go forward here, this time through Delta Greeno. super important player. If she can find Quirk. Rachel Watt does really well, though. I think the ball's going to trickle over the line, although there might have been a push there on Greenold. We shoved over the line, nothing doing. And we'll get a ball up. As Baronia continue to push, they trail this one by 16 points. Certainly not over yet. As Winbanks wins the tap down, Gottliebsen tries to shark it for Baronia. It's a heavy tackle there on Steph Phillips. We'll have another ball up. And Winbanks wins it out, but it's Slater who sharks it. She goes towards goal. There's plenty of Basin players back there. Talbot picks it up, throws it on the boot. Rachel Quirk tries to mark, she can't. Slater goes at it again. There's a Baronia player underneath it. She sits underneath it, should be a free kick, and it is. And that is going in the direction of
Alicia Perrott. Very tough angle from here.
This would be some goal. As she plays on pretty quickly. Looks a pretty good kick. It's gone across the face though, and is it a mark by Julia Baker?
Yep.
Yes, it is.
So Baker here to clear it out for the Bears. Their defensive half, bouncing ball out the back. Might be a chance for Grimmett. It's well done there by the Hawks to stop this one up. 16 minutes gone just about in this second quarter. The Bears 3-2 to Baronia 4 behinds. The Division 1 Grand Final. No goals kicked in this second quarter. Grimmett's kick was smothered. Now the Hawks have another chance to go forward themselves. Burkett's there. Gottliebsen picks it up and she's tackled right away. Ball up just outside 50. Tapping it forward. Alston just pinched it out of there. Clearance forward. Hawks, it's a 2-on-1. Well, even up the numbers back here, the Bears, but Cahill should be able to pick it up here for the Hawks. Got a handball off. McCage went without it. Getting in there was Watt, who's been pretty strong so far in this opening half. This would really hurt if the Bears get a goal for the Hawks, considering their possession of the football this quarter. Had most of the play, yet they trail by 16 points. But a bit of credit there to the Bears defense in this first half as we get a stoppage in the middle of the ground. We'll get another ball up, coming up to the 17-minute mark of this second quarter.
There's a Basin look to go again. It's Winbanks. Flicks out of there. Alston tries to put some pressure on Davidson, but she's got some time. It's a nice ball forward. Greenold's there. We know she's got plenty of pace. Davidson again. Just puts this one in front of Flanagan. She's getting busier. Plenty of Baronia players over there, and Davidson lays a tackle eventually on Weldon, and we'll have another ball up inside 50. This gives the Basin obviously a chance to get some numbers back. Quirk gets a hit out to Greenold, gets a kick away, and Julia Baker, she just sits in the hole, flicks it out towards Carroll, just gets a fist on it. And here goes Burkett. A funny looking ball to Collins. They flick a handball out to McCage. McCage searches for Davidson over in that further pocket. She's got some support there. She's held without it. And she'll get the free kick, Davidson. So another chance for the Hawks to get their first goal. Almost 18 minutes gone in this second quarter.
Yeah, big opportunity here. Just even a goal difference from 16 points to 10 points makes a massive difference going into a half-time break.
Just feels like down that hill end there that we talk about, it just looks like the ball's holding up a little bit. They can't seem to crack
that kick there.
Yeah. So again, it falls short, and the Basin will clear.
So here's Burkett for the Hawks to be able to pick this one off. She gets past an opponent, running off to McCage. Shot on goal towards the hot spot. Mark almost. Phillips picks it up. Shot on goal. There's your Hawks' first goal. 1-4-10 to the Bears, 3-2-20. And a bit of class there from one of the best players on the side. Brings that margin back to 10 points with a minute to go in this second quarter.
I think that just steadies them a little bit too. They just needed to get on the board. They didn't want to go into the halftime break having not scored that goal. Been pressing basically for the entire second quarter. So
it was coming. It was coming eventually, and they were going to get there.
It sure was. sort of worry about Julia Baker sitting in that hole. I almost feel like they need someone to occupy her a little bit at times down there. It's a tough one, though.
Just can't play into her hands.
Exactly. As Winbanks gets the hit out straight to Donnelly, and a secondary ball up.
What about the Bears, Dylan? They're still 10 points in front. Haven't had many opportunities this quarter. What do you think they go into halftime thinking?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. They'll obviously be really happy even if they go in at 10 points up, conceding that late goal. Certainly had the better of it in the first quarter, but I'd say Baronia owned the second quarter. So they've got a few things to think about.
Boundary.
As we head down to Kate.
Basin rewarded for a push.
As they look for Lily Grace Murrell, one of their top performers this season.
20 seconds left. They've got to...
Yeah, she's got to go quickly here. Looks up, and Haritos is underneath it there. Samagas, in fact. And with 5 seconds to go, you'd think that'll be it for the first half. The umpire balls it up, and there it is. So the Basin lead Baronia 3 goals, 2-20 to 1-4-10 at half-time. And to be honest, it's really set up for a brilliant second half here, Ryan.
Yeah, definitely. A tale of 2 quarters. The Bears, the hot start in that first quarter, had all the play. Brotto kicked 3 goals. That second quarter, the Hawks are really pushing, and for their sake, they are quite lucky to get that final goal because they would have been really disappointed to not get the reward for the effort in that quarter. So marching back to 10 points, the Bears 3-2-20, Baronia 1-4-10. We'll take our break at halftime here for the Division 1 Grand Final. Welcome back to the Division 1 Deakin University Grand Final for season 2023 between the Basin and Baronia. It is currently half-time here, and the Bears lead through 3-20 to the Baronia Hawks, 1-4-10. Danny O'Brien with the opening 3 goals for the Bears before Baronia got there first on the board in that second quarter and have brought this margin back to 10 points, Dylan Smith, and certainly a big chance from here, both sides. I think this is a very open game at the moment. They fought really hard to get that 1 goal back on the board. Probably the thing is in this third quarter, if they give away a couple early, they sort of reverse all that hard work in the second quarter.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the issue for Baronia. Like we said, the Basin, they only seem to have to get it inside forward 50, get it 1 out with Brotto, and she'll do the rest of the work. And they've sort of set their team up with, I guess, their best players, their most talented players forward of the ball. Whereas Baronia use their more talented players maybe in the midfield and behind the ball a little bit more. So when they do go inside 50, it just feels like a little bit more harder work to get that goal.
Boundary.
Yeah, 100%. As we go boundary side to Kate.
Just have Mark from the Basin with his message at halftime going into third quarter.
Well, first of all, thanks, boys, for being here and doing this. It's really good for girls' football, so we appreciate that. Thank you. Just take a bit more risks. I think we put our foot off the pedal a little bit then, but we know that, and so we'll just respond. Tackling's been one of our best things all year, and so we're just going to focus on the tackling, and we think some more opportunities will come.
Okay, thank you, Mark.
Thanks there to Mark with Kate Green, and I got to say, you've got probably the 2 nicest coaches right here in this Division 1 Grand Final. Both Mark and Scott have been so generous with their time and their ability to enhance senior women's football competition, and certainly see that grow as the years have gone by, and they've done a fantastic job with these 2 clubs. And whoever does become the premiership coach today will be certainly will deserve it.
I'm just sad that one of them has to lose.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Can we have a draw? We'll get the extra time here.
I vote for a draw.
Yeah, it's certainly still in the cards. A 10-point margin here at half-time. The 2 games out at H.E Parker already have been one-sided results, with Murrelbach and East Ringwood running away clear winners. Out at H.E Reserve, the upset is brewing. The Wolves lead 29-7, the Eastern Devils, so that's a certain result to keep an eye on in the second half as the Hawks come out onto the field, ready to get started for this second half of the Division 1 Grand Final. Dylan, how do you see this sort of playing out?
It's really hard to say, and we discussed it on the podcast earlier in the week about this game and just not knowing which way to go with it. You could see either side almost blowing the other one out of the water on any given day, and the results across the season have kind of played out like that.
Boundary. Sorry, Dylan.
That's all right, Kate. We'll head down to Scott from Baronia.
Okay, Scott, halftime message going into third quarter.
2 quarters to go. We've got to find something more. We're really pleased with the effort and the intensity. I think we started to settle into our structures a little bit more. 5 scoring shots apiece. Yeah, we've just got to keep creating those opportunities and attack. Yeah, that's it. Thanks, Kate.
That's okay, thanks.
Thanks there to Kate Green with Scott Nicholas. We're underway here in the second half of the Division 1 Grand Final.
Winbanks and Quirk. It's Quirk who wins out this time. Slater's got the run on. She burst out of the stoppage, kicks inside 50 over the head of Davidson. Julia Baker's there. She gets that clearing kick, as she so often does. And I thought it was in the hands of Grimmett, but it's McCage who just sort of ripped it out. Got her own back in that one. And yeah, Scott sort of said it best there with the equal scoring shots, but they just haven't had that potency. Here goes Grimmett as the Basin stream forward. This time it's Priest. She kicks up in front of Carroll. Gottliebson's tracking. Murrell's in there too. And we're going to get that stoppage. I really think it comes down to the midfield, Ryan. Whichever team, it's that, you know, Quirk, Phillips, Slater versus Alston, Watt, and Grimmett. Whoever can come out on top out of those players is going to win the game. And we might see a, you know, heroic performance that gets them over the line as Quirk tries to do that. She goes up the line and ends up being a fairly heavy-handed tackle in there from the Basin player. Get that ball up. It was Winbanks in there. She goes head-to-head here with Quirk. Breaking even at the moment. Winbanks tries to pick it up. She overruns it, eventually does pick it up. And Matilda Burkett's in there for Baronia. And
it's a free kick awarded here.
I think it is, and the Baronia fans look happy, so it's gone their way.
The umpire was saying that it was a kind of side sling, but it wasn't. It was just the momentum of catching the player. So bad luck to Basin.
Interesting here as Davidson tracks this one. Julia Baker's on the back. She tries to burst through. Delta Greenhill's got a run on here. She's quick. Pushes her opponent off the ball. They get the kick through Crammond. Crammond to goal. To the right side again. And it's another opportunity for Baronia. Gone begging, Ryan.
Yeah, certainly right. 1-5-11, the Hawks. The Bears 3-2-20. 2 minutes gone in this third quarter. Thanks for joining us on YouTube, all the streams here on YouTube. A few international viewers as well. Dylan from the UK, Meg Guest.
Wow.
There's the ball brought back into play here for the Bears. Under pressure here in their back half. We've gone global, Dill, as Dean tries to clear it out. Now a chance. Greenhill puts up towards the top of the square. Basin got all the numbers here, though. Oh, Falcon kicked right into the head of Corrigan. Geez, that would have hurt.
That was one of the...
slammed into, and it's actually gone in through for a minor score. So 1-6-12 to 3-2-20. That...
I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
That was very...
As Baker brings us back in. I think it was her kick that provided that Falcon. Puts it out in front of Grimmett. It's heading in the direction of Gottliebson now, though. Ball's got a bit of a mind of its own. She's held up, and we'll have a ball up.
Good on Corrigan, though. You wouldn't even know she got hit in the face with a football. She's...
Yeah, took it really strongly. As Quirk gets the hit out here. Taps it down in front of Slater. Rachel Watts in there, held up by Phillips it was in the end. Quirk again. She's really getting some dominance in that hit-out department. Phillips tracks it. She's tackled by Priest. And another ball up just outside forward 50 for Baronia as they press forward once more. Quirk again. She grabs it out of the ruck. It's heading in the direction of Crammond. She can't pick it up. Here's Delta Greeno. Gets a handball out. 1-2 with Davidson. Again, just a little bit rushed. Probably could have given the handball off to Greeno, then would have been the better option, but just a bit of a rush kick, and they create another scoring opportunity.
1-7-13, Bears 3-2-20. They will have to start converting a couple more if they are to win this contest, because the Bears will get their opportunity at some stage. Almost taken by Watt. Chance of the Hawks, but it's cut off by Grimmett. That kick was smothered. So Baronia still a chance here. Flanagan got it off to Collins. Back to Phillips, McCage, handball backwards, Collins again. To Gottliebson, just gets her kick away in time. Kufel will pick it up, potentially Watt came in there for the Bears. And they hold this up. They aren't, they are certainly under the pump at the moment. They aren't out of this yet, the Bears.
Hard to feel worried about the side that's winning the game, but are you a little bit worried that the Basin haven't created as many opportunities?
Well,
quite a while now.
This one might be one because Olsen's just come through the pack and it's a 2-on-1 contest here. They might be able to win out, and they do. The one player standing up, Carroll, picked it up and she's caught by two Hawks, and that's holding the ball. Great pressure by Baronia because they looked out on a 2-on-1 contest, and they go into towards the middle of the ground. Kufel, centre square. Got a player out here by herself, Cahill. It's cut off. Greenhill, and she jets off, gets a bit of space and goes inside 50. Out the back is Winbanks for the Bears. She's well pressured, but picks it up nicely. That kick is cut off, and now a shot on goal from Flanagan. Dean in the square, takes the mark. And the Hawks will have a set shot for their second of the afternoon. And Paige Dean's going to waste no time to put this through the middle. Baronia 2-7-19, the Bears 3-2-20. 5 minutes gone in this third quarter, and we have a game on our hands, Dylan.
We absolutely do. And I just flagged it a second ago that the Basin, they just haven't really got going since the first quarter. That's now 2 goals, 5 on the bounce for Baronia to no score. since quarter time. So they're just standing still a little bit here, the Bears. They need to get their mojo back. But as we know, with the dangerous Danielle Brotto, they could do that at any moment. As the Rucks go at it, Quirk wins out again. They're getting a bit of a flow on here at Baronia. This is Phillips. She flicks the ball out. It's Davidson eventually who marks. I think it was out in front of Flanagan. Davidson plays on quickly. She's got Paige Dean there. She's clever. She gets out the back, does Dean. Can she get the soccer off the ground? Another rush behind. And Baronia go 2 goals, 8-20 to the Basin, 3-2-20. We have a tie.
Maybe the extra time game's on, Dill. It's a long way to go as Baker clears it out. We're still in the third quarter. 7 minutes gone. And that's a strong mark here for the Hawks. Slater will send the Hawks back into attack once more. Out the back, Flanagan. A chance now. Davidson picks up the handball. Big tackle laid. And we'll get a ball up inside 50 for the Hawks. They've done all the attacking since quarter time. Scores are level, 3-2 to 2-8. They get another one, they will be well and truly on top of this contest at the moment. The tap out falls down to Baker, the captain of the Basin. Around the corner, clearing it out of their back half. There'll be a foot race to see who can get here first. The Hawks might be able to win out. Instead, it's well done there by Murrell. Pushes aside her opponent. She contests that footy with McCage, and we'll get a ball up right in front of us. Broadcast wing, 7.5 minutes gone in this premiership quarter, the Division 1 grand final. Baronia in the Basin. Umpire says, give it to me. We'll get another ball up.
So well poised this game for a grandstand finish. Carroll comes into the ruck, tries to bash it forward. Samagas is there. The ball eventually gets away into the corridor, out into space. Collins is there for Baronia, tries to bring it back towards Phillips. They flick the handball around. Eventually, Decker gets the kick away, heads in the direction of Greenold. It passes her, and Paige Dean just tracking this ball. And Greenold comes again, tries to get the handball out to Dean. She can't collect, eventually does. And she's really well tackled there by the Basin player, and that's going to be holding the ball. Fantastic tackle there by Jessica McDowell, because the Baronia Hawks were on there. She goes up the line, looks for Rachel Watt, who takes a strong mark in the centre of the ground. They look to come forward. They haven't had a lot of attacks in this game since quarter time. Gottliebsen gets on a bike, just bursts through the pack. She puts it out in front of Slater. Slater tries to burst through, gets a good handball to Gottliebsen, but she's tackled by Winbanks. And the umpire that time says no prior opportunity. And she's going to ball it up just outside forward 50 for the Baronia Hawks. Winbanks wins out, gets it down to Watt. Watt's kick doesn't get very far. And we have another ball up. I think both teams can sense that this game is just about to burst open. Winbanks gets the hit out. Baronia shark the tap. Decker's in there. Samagas is in there too. It still can't be broken free, and we'll have, they're at the 4th ball up in a row. Winbanks gets the hit out. Looks for a player in the centre of the ground. Slater's there for Baronia. Looked like they were going to clear the ball, but really well tackled in there by Alston to lock that one up for the Basin. And Winbanks wins it down again in the direction of Alston. Gottliebsen charges through, tries to get a kick away, and she can't. This is the ultimate stalemate in the last few minutes. 10 minutes gone in the third quarter. Scores are level. Winbanks taps it down to Murrell. Murrell gets the kick away. Monk's there lurking for the Basin. She can't take the mark, and Quirk's going to run off her. Gets a handball to Collins. Collins can't collect. She just flicks the handball back to April Glare.
Thanks, Kale.
And Baronia look up. Delta Greenold's there. The girl from Ballarat. She tries to break through. Decker's there to help, and it's a free kick going in the direction of Rachel Slater. And whenever she's got the ball in hand, it's dangerous for the opposition. She goes inside 50. She's got Crammon there. Crammon can't mark. They try to get the ball at ground level. Not sure who's picked that up in there. And Baronia end up coming out through Gottliebsen. She flicks a handball out to Parrott, and the umpire pings a great tackle again from Priest. She's laid some big ones in this quarter, and she tries to get out here through Murrell. Murrell's got runners, and they do really well through Carroll. She looks up. The kick's a bit of a funny one. Can't get past Salante. Zoe Alston meets her with a tackle. April glares in there. I thought we were going to have another ball up. We're not. It's come out. It's come out to Phillips. She goes forward. Crammon's there. Julia Baker's there. And it's a holding free to Julia Baker. And the defence stands firm for the Basin.
Yeah, and it was... Cremont did her best to sort of keep her from marking it, but someone like Baker's just so dangerous and similar to Brotto up forward. And that's a strong mark by Rachel Slater. Hasn't she had a phenomenal afternoon so far? And she'll send it back inside 50. Can anyone take the mark? A one-handed grab. Well done there by Ellie Weldon. Pulled it in one hand. Fantastic under pressure. The Bears to escape their back half, down the line where it came from. No one's able to take the mark, so the ball hits the deck, and we might get a ball up here with 12.5 minutes gone in this third quarter. All square, 3-2-20 to 2-8-20. First 3 goals went to the Bears through Danielle Brotto. So a free kick here awarded to the Bears. So Donnelly, who's had plenty of the footy herself, just sent it down the line. Underneath it, almost a mark taken by Quirk. Ball hits the deck, tapping it forward here, the Bears, towards the boundary line. A push. There is a push. And it's a free kick to the Basin. So they'll have a chance now through Lily Grace Murrell to get that footy inside 50. It's out the back. A mark taken there by Emily Cahill in defence. And she wants to play on straight away. Kicks it towards the other side, looking for Colin or Greenhelg. Grimmett's there for the Bears. She does very well. She's got a couple of Hawks to beat. Greenhelg ends up with the footy, but she's brought down in a tackle, and we'll get a ball up as we go to the boundary. Kate Green.
Number 45 for the Basin, McDowell's just come off to seek trainer management.
Thank you, Kate.
Not good news for them as they flick it around by handball here. Alston's got it for the Basin. Looks to go forward, but only as far as Gottliebsen from Baronia. She can run with the footy. She's a little bit unsure here. The umpire calls play on. She did get the handball away, but she was very well caught. Samagas lays a tackle on her. Slater's there to help. You really feel that she just wants to take this game by the scruff of the neck. Samagas with the pressure. She's been fantastic. Throws it on that left boot. Collins is underneath it, and she takes a really strong mark and just lets Baronia breathe for a second. She looks up for Greenold. She's going to try and run onto this one. Winbanks tackles her. She gets away. She flips her. She comes inside 50, heads towards Crammond. Baker's there. Crammond's just got to keep her occupied for the second, and we'll get a ball up about 25 metres out from the Baronia goal as they push again. Julia Baker, so dangerous down there for the Basin, though.
Well, we sort of debated where you would put her in the later half of this game, but you've got to keep her down here, don't you?
Yeah, she's got to propel those attacks. I think that's Slater who comes out, and she's kicked a fantastic goal. And the Hawks are in front. 3 goals 8-26 to 3 goals 2-20. 14 minutes gone in the third quarter.
Well, a bit to work out here for the Bears because they've been on top of this contest, the Hawks, since quarter time. And now the scoreboard's starting to tick over 3-8 to 3-2 as we approach three-quarter time.
Boundary.
Less than 5 minutes to go. Kate Green on the boundary.
The Baronia box just went a little bit crazy.
Yes, well, it was a brilliant finish there by Rachel Slater, who has been one of the stars of the show this afternoon.
There's a period about 5 minutes ago, and it looked like she had that look in her eye. I want to take this game apart. And, you know, she's doing it right in front of our eyes here. So we go back to the centre. 2 rucks go at it. McCage, she gets pushed out of it. Here's Slater again, tries to barge through. She's tackled. It is really interesting, as you say, Ryan, what they do with Julia Baker. She's playing in defence at the moment.
Yeah, I think you've got to. Otherwise, you move her up into towards the midfield if you need to, but so vital. There's the ball. It's going to be caught up here. They let it play on a little bit. Kick up into the air there from the Bears. That was punched as well from Monk, but it's come out to McCage, who sends the Hawks into their attacking half, but Julia Baker cuts it off. There she is, and she goes down the line. She can hit a target as well. And this is an opportunity for Carroll towards their half-forward line and standing in front.
Slater.
None other than Rachel Slater. And we'll take her time to come back here. She's probably been best on ground, I would say, maybe at the moment. The ball towards the middle of the ground. Bears have got some numbers to clean this one up. Out towards the wing. Running onto this is Burkett. She's got Carroll to contend with here. Wrapped up, and you can hear the crowd on ground level. Certainly risen in last.
How many contests does Delta
15 minutes.
Greeno get to?
Yeah,
she's just everywhere.
She's so quick with the footy or without it. There's the ball up here. On the broadcast wing, Collins was pushed without it. Has earned herself a free kick on centre wing for the Hawks. They lead by 6 points with less than 3 minutes to go in this third quarter. Down the line, Quirk had 3 to beat. Was the only one who held her ground. She taps it over the line, and we'll get her ball up here. 17 minutes and 25 seconds gone. 3-2-20 the Basin, 3-8-26 Baronia.
We're almost at the end of this premiership quarter. And Baronia have really owned it, to be honest. They've owned the last 2 quarters. But it's been death by 1,000 cuts. As Rachel Slater goes inside 50 again, there's a Basin player underneath it. Tracking it down there for Baronia's Perrott, though. She's been really useful, but Winbanks is going to get this one. She's tackled by Greenold. Just gets the handball back. Davidson cuts that out, and they go for it again, Baronia. Out to meet it is Dean. She goes again, can't quite pick it up. Davidson's there to help. Grimmett's there, as is Julia Baker. They just try to get it out of the danger zone for the moment. In comes Samagas. And it's eventually kicked by Delta Greenold. And cut out there by the Basin. Able to come forward again through Kufel. And we'll have a ball up just outside 50 for Baronia. And it's getting concerning now for the Basin. They need to find a way.
One goal is all it takes to swing the momentum back and put the pressure on the Hawks.
Yeah, the margin at the moment keeping them in it, I would say, as they look to repel another attack from Baronia. Possibly a bit of head-high contact, nothing doing from the umpire. And we'll have a ball up with 1 minute and 15 seconds left on the clock. Can anyone pinch a goal in these final moments?
So the ball up here, tap down McKay. Basin trail Baronia 3-8-26. And they were very close to getting another one there, but well done by the defence to hold up in a very tense last minute.
Boundary.
As we go boundary side, Kate Green.
I can tell you now from being both camps being quite quiet and stoic, they're no longer that. They're completely vocal on both sides.
And that was an unbelievable quarter that put Baronia in the lead here with just 1 quarter of footy to play. This grand final had a lot of expectation around it, and so far it's more than delivered. It's the Basin 3-2-20 trailing Baronia 3-8-26. We'll go away for a short break.
quarter time. H.E Parker Reserve, the Division 1 Grand Final. Deakin 3-2-20, Boronia 3-8-26. 1 quarter to play. Bears fans, Hawks fans, get behind your side with 1 quarter to play for the Division 1 Premiership.
Welcome back to H.E Parker Reserve for this Division 1 Women's Grand Final. It's been a cagey affair so far with the Basin 3-2-20 trailing Boronia 3-8-26. The Boronia Hawks have really struggled to kick straight at the beginning of this game, but they found form in that second quarter and are looking like they're running over the top of the Basin at the moment, Ryan.
They are. They certainly had most of the players. We go down to the boundary. Kate Green has Scott Nicholas with him.
Yeah, Scott, great third quarter. What have you let the girls know what to do for the fourth?
We said it at halftime. We're just going to have to ask more of them than they've ever done before. We want them to keep taking risks. We want to keep pushing it. We've got to keep playing fast, aggressive footy. Otherwise, the Basin are a very, very good team, and they'll get straight back in this game. So we can't drop off. You know, we haven't done anything yet. We've got 1 more quarter to play.
Thanks very much, Scott. Good luck.
Thanks to Kate Green with Scott Nicholas, the senior coach of the Boronia senior women's side. They lead by 6 points with 20 minutes to play. Dylan will speak about the rules of time on. If it does get to that point, 5 minutes each way, no extra time, no time on. So, I mean, still 20 minutes away. We don't know if we're on. We'd love a time on.
I'd love to see it. Yeah, I'd love it.
Boundary.
The boundary with Kate Green.
Tough third quarter, Mark. What is the message for the girls going into the final one?
Just to keep taking risks. I think that we've been there in the contest, but out the back, we've let them get the ball too many times. So watch the out the back space and keep pressing forward.
Thanks very much. Best.
Thanks to Kate Green with Mark, the senior coach of the Basin Football Club. Back in the middle, now Chancellor Grimmett trying to get the clearance forward. She was tackled by McCage. Kufel at the back will pick this up for the Hawks. Handball into space to... Not a handball. Ping foul on the ball, so the Basin will take this. In the middle of the ground, trailing by 6 points, coming into this final quarter. Grandstand finish here at H.E Parker Reserve for the Division 1 Grand Final. That kick gets past everyone and almost bounces right in the hands of Monk, who passed it on straight away. Carroll tried to get a kick. It was cut off. Gottliebsen for the Hawks. Kick forward. Chance now. Decker under some pressure here from the Bears. And this first goal, to speak the obvious, but how important is this first goal? The Hawks get it. It'll be very tough for the Bears to get back into this game with the momentum. But the Bears get it. This is game on.
Absolutely, and they'll be really happy that they got that first clearance, the Bears. The midfield need to gain some ascendancy back into this game. They were well beaten in those middle 2 quarters. So we have another ball up. It's the likes of Grimmett, Alston, Watt. Just got beaten in those second and third quarters. So the ball gets out to space here. There's Grimmett. She knocks it forward. Alston lays a tackle on Slater, but it's Boronia. They go forward again. Julia Baker overruns it. Not something you say too often. It's going to come back here. This time through McCage. She throws it on the boot. Baker's just lurking, but as is Davidson. Davidson gets a handball out to Crammon. Crammon can't get the kick away. And it looked like a pretty good tackle. I think it's holding the ball down there.
Is that Chloe Burton-Puts?
I think so. Julia Baker's, yeah, it is. Yeah, correct. So she'll come out of defence, finds a short target, can't be marked. She'll try to go up the line. It's really well defended there, though, Boronia. So they come inside 50 once more. The Basin look to get out of there. Good tackle by McCage. We'll have another ball up.
Oh, very important couple of minutes here for the Bears. Wouldn't want to concede the first one. 3-2 to 3-8. Boronia leading by a goal. And they've kicked the last 3 goals. And that kick from the Bears bouncing out of bounds. So it'll be a Hawks possession. Alex Kufel to take this one and launch the Hawks back into attack. She will short kick it to McCage, who's had a good game. That slips through her hands. Gottliebsen's there. So is Watt for the Bears. She ends up with a footy, gets a handball away. Carroll. McCage again. We'll get a ball up. Coming up to the 3rd minute mark of this final quarter out. H.E Parker Reserve. Couldn't have asked for a better finish here. Tight finish in the Division 1 Grand Final. Slapped forward by Winbacks. Zoe Olsen handballed it backwards to Priest. Caught in a tackle by Quirk. Ball slips out. Kufel kick forward. Looking for Greenhelg. Slater's there. Flanagan too. Grimmett for the Bears. Handball over the top. Found Weldon. Priest. Back to Grimmett. Bit of a scrap here is Quirk. Get the handball backwards. And now forward here. Matilda Burkett got the handball towards Flanagan. Two Vermont ex-players combining. They were here last year in a grand final. Now for the Hawks, 6-point lead.
Just got my eyes on Danielle Brotto. She looks like she's come up the ground a little bit to get involved. Barely touched the footy in that second or third quarter.
So here they go.
As Julia Baker takes a strong intercept mark on the full back line there for the Basin. They look to come out. And you wonder the importance of those ins for Boronia. It was Burkett and Flanagan who came in, two past premiership players with Vermont, and they've both played really well today. As Rachel Watt gets a bit of space between her opponent, she looks to push forward, heads in the direction of Monk. She comes out to meet it. They've got runners on here, the Basin. If they can get it forward, Brotto's lurking. McKernan tries to track it first. She's getting it for pace. Brotto's catching her. She tries to lay the tackle. She's got her. Oh, she's got her.
Oh, I did not like that.
Oh, my goodness. She got her by the hair there. Not sure if it was an accidental one. Free kick to Boronia.
Yeah, I think it was accidental, but...
yeah, it would have gone for the back of the shirt.
She did just immediately apologise.
Yep. And a big contest down here as the Basin try to get that goal they desperately need. McCage in there. Carroll's in there for the Basin. Gottliebson, Phillips, Quirk, Alston, they're all there. Boronia look to get it out of the danger zone. Alston just barges through, kicks it in the direction of Monk. She's in front of Decker. She can pick this up. She's got Brotto in the goal square. Carroll comes for assistance. And another ball up. 5 minutes gone in the final quarter. Boronia lead the Basin by 6 points. Monk does the ruck duty, tries to get it out. McCage is there, flicks it over to Kufel, who's got an acre of space in front of her. She can keep running. She has a bounce. She goes around Lily Grace Murrell, does that really well. Oh. And she's run too far.
Maybe 2 steps. I thought she was going to get away with it.
I did. She did have a bounce. As Murrell drives the Basin back inside 50, but Rachel Slater is sitting in the hole, and she says, I'm just going to eat that one up. She finds a short option. McCage. She plays on quickly, gets it out to Perrott. Perrott flicks a handball to Burkett. As that player that's come into the team, she's been fantastic today as Burkett goes inside 50, and a great defensive mark by Bridie Wimbanks. And that is goal saving.
So back in towards the middle of the ground, dangerous kick. And there's Quirk, the cage underneath it. Try to get a handball out to Slater. And it's Watt who ends up with the footy, and she's wrapped up and in the middle of the ground. We'll get her ball up. Hawks lead by 6 points. 6.5 minutes gone in the final term of this Division 1 Senior Women's Grand Final. Tap down Grimmett. Got the kick forward in towards the pack of players. Out the back, Salanti got her handball out to Collins. Collins sending the Hawks towards their forward half. Out the front, couldn't quite take the mark. Bears got some numbers around the contest. Winning out is Greenhelg. Got it off to Phillips. And now they're off. Here's Davison towards Dean. It's a one-on-one contest. Doing well there to the Bears through Talbot. Talbot versus Dean. Talbot gets the ball first. Tackled by Dean. Dean wins out. Handball into space. It's going to be cut off by the captain in Baker. Baker to clear it out. Got plenty of room for Carroll to run onto it, but it's Gottliebson. Both couldn't quite take possession of the football. Deck ends up with it. Handballed it to 2 players standing still. Gottliebson picks it up. Kicked in towards the middle of the ground. Collins is underneath it. Big collision there. Well done by both players. Brotto ends up with a footy. Forward, and we'll get a ball up in the middle of the ground. 7.5 minutes gone, final term. Boronia 3-8, Basin 3-2.
Yeah, Brotto pretty far away from a natural habitat inside forward 50 there. Came up the ground to affect the contest as Boronia go forward again. It's had all the run in this second half as Perrott gets away. the flying shot on goal. A really good mark taken on the last line of defence.
Just an update from Quamby. The Eastern Devils have hit the front.
Eastern Devils, they found a way back into that game. 28 points down at one stage as Delta Greenold takes a really important mark for Baronia. She looks up, just scans the field for that best option. She puts a nice ball in. Samagas comes through though, and that's a really good intercept from her. Such a heart and soul player is Samagas, a bit of a barometer at times for the Basin, and a great intercept there and defensive tackle. As Quirk goes up in the ruck, tries to get it forward for Baronia. Steph Phillips at the foot of the ball. She's tackled by Rachel Watt. As Slater, Delta Greenold. Usually when you call those names in a row, something good is happening for Baronia. So we get another ball up. Winbanks, taps unattested this time. Grimmett's there, tackled by Collins. And another ball up, and all of a sudden this 6 points, it's looking larger and larger as the seconds tick by. 9 minutes gone in this last quarter. Winbanks to Alston. She gets a big kick away, and now it's Baronia that have the good setup behind the ball. Here's Monk. Monk gets a handball out to Brotto. I think she's tackled high there by Gottliebsen. She'll get the free kick. And they can have another crack at going forward. She sees Alston. Alston's going to have to chase this one down. She's got McCage for company, but she just turns and kicks. Watt's there. Carroll's there. Kufel for Baronia is going to get there first, though, and she's got speed that we saw before.
Well, she
takes
can
a
run.
bounce. She doesn't want to go too far this time. Kicks it on the left boot. Finds a target in Davidson. Now Baronia look like they could score. Just slows it down for the moment. Davidson comes inside. Big contest forming in the middle. Gottliebsen picks it up off the ground. Tries to feed a handball out to Phillips, but it's picked up by Alston. She just puts it out into space, but it looks like Baronia are going to get there again. This time, it's Burkett. Huge contest forming down here. McCage just taps it out to the side to get a bit of a run on for April Blair. They can't do anything with it, and Alston wraps her up. 10 minutes gone in this final term.
Past the halfway mark. Baronia lead 3-8 to 3-2. Out here is Burkett. The handball looking for Gottliebsen. It's cut off by the Bears. Good pressure from both sides. Zoe Olsen couldn't quite get a kick away. Haratos back in the middle. We'll get another ball up. Centre wing. In the ruck here, Winback's got the tap down. Right to Lily Grace Mull. Inside 50. Out the back is Carroll. Brotto's there too. Fell through her hands. Baronia got some numbers to mop this up. McCage. Left foot. Bouncing ball towards the boundary line. Who can pick this up first? It'll be Quirk who keeps it in. Taps it forward. Bears it there first. Samagas will take this one.
She's been good in this last quarter.
Yeah,
Samagas.
she has. And that was against Gottliebsen. And with 11 minutes and a half gone in this last quarter, neither side have conceded any score in the term. The handball off to Grimmett, inside 50. Standing underneath it was Quirk. Used her height well and takes the mark, the intercept mark, and looks to play on right away. Finds Phillips, and they might just slowly play this up the field. McCage.
There's a danger Baronia go a little bit too early into preservation mode here.
No, got to get a score. They would have to.
It's almost like next score wins here as she looks for Decker. Out on that far side, she's got Kufel, who's just given them so much run in this last quarter. Throws it on the boot. Paige Dean's got some separation from her opponent. She turns inside, kicks a high ball, and you would think Julia Baker marks this, as she so often does, and she's collected really heavily down there. She's been so
superstar.
Good. Yeah, absolutely. And
just so composed. Look at she'll take her time. She won't waste the footy.
Exactly, and it was almost a good tactical foul on her there. Knocked it to ground, and she couldn't go quickly. And they get time to reset to Baronia. They go out that far side. 12.5 minutes gone. The Basin trail Baronia by one straight kick. It could even be in for a draw here. All things considered, as Baronia go forward once again. Baker trying to get involved in this play as well. I think Rachel Watt's down there. on hands and knees, tries to flick a handball out. Gottliebsen, her kick smothered by Baker, and Samagas gets on a bike. She can pick this one up. They've got numbers everywhere to the basin. She does pick it up eventually. She looks for a teammate, throws it on the boot. Rachel Watt's there, but there's a wall of Baronia players met. Here's McCage. She picks it up, gets a handball out to Kufel. They look inside, there's Phillips. Davidson's there for Baronia, she's tackled. And we'll have a ball up just outside 50 for Baronia. Burkett was the player I was looking for there. Got a little bit lost.
The ball up, Winbanks. Got the tap down. Clearance here for the Bears, looking for Carroll. Might go over the top of her to another teammate. She can run on and pick up that cleanly. Well done by Jamie Mock. Kicked it into a dangerous area in the middle, and Murrell had to do very well, but she takes the mark. She had about 3 Hawks coming in to close in. It's a courageous mark, and they'll now go inside 50. Brotto's out the back. Hawks have got some numbers. Under a bit of pressure. They've done well, McKernan, to clear this out. Kicked forward. She might be able to run onto this. Greenhill picks it up. Bit of time and space. Her kick was smothered, but she ends up with a footy anyway. Kicks it towards Slater. She's got 2 Bears to beat. She does well. She's able to tap it in front of Kufel, who picks it up cleanly. Tries to get the handball back to Slater. Ends up with it. Clean pickup. Kick towards the hot spot. Paige Dean out the back. Couldn't quite take the mark. And we'll get a stoppage.
Boundary.
Boundary to Kate Green.
Number 50 for Baronia, Cremone, is off with a iced left ankle.
Thanks, Kate, as Winback got the tap down, but it's the Hawks who pick it up. Umpire has said, give it to me. Ball up inside 50. Even a score for the Hawks would be really important to make this a 7-point game.
It would. No score yet in this final term. Just 5 minutes remaining.
Bears have got to clear this out.
They got to clear it out. Julia Baker's in there. But the run is all with Baronia. The likes of Greenog, the likes of Kufel have been massive in this final term. It's on the line here as the basin look to exit. Kick looks for Carroll. She stands under it, can't mark, and all the Baronia players are at the foot of the ball. Samaga slays a heavy tackle there. And another ball up.
Columbia Reserve, 17 minutes gone. The Devils lead by 3 points.
Another huge game over there. Both these Division 1 and Premier Division finals being decided by less than a goal with a few minutes to go. Baronia looks to go inside 50 again. This time it's Phillips, gets a handball out over the top to Perrott. Perrott runs into goal. She's got Dean on the line. She's also got helpers. If she can flick a handball out to Davidson, she can't. Eventually, looks like the basin will clean up. Baker's there. She gets a ball out towards Grimmett. She was really good in that first quarter. She's quieting down a lot. She looks for Murrell, can't find her. Slater's in there. Here goes Murrell. They need to find runners the basin. Rachel Watt tracks this one, as does Monk, but it's going to be Quirk. They put her behind the ball, and she sharks that one. Takes it straight from the basin. Zoe Alston, she's going to cut this one off. She needs help from Rachel Watt. Collins is in there for Baronia. Murrell again, she's been huge. The kick looks like it's going to be cut off by Glare, but it gets past her, and Carroll's got some space.
Oh, she's done
She looks for
very well.
Brotto. She's done amazingly well. She's got Monk out the back. They've got 2 runners. One of them's going to kick the goal. She can stroll in. She can go further. And she's missed. It was Priest. She had all the time in the world, and unfortunately, she didn't know that, and she's gone to the right. And the margin is 5 points with 3 minutes to go. But, Ryan, Baronia still need to get this ball out of their back
Maybe
half.
that takes the draw out of the equation. Maybe they can win it from here. It's Kale to take this one out towards us on the broadcast side. Underneath is McCage, almost the mark. Here's Grimmett, picks it up on the boundary line, pass it over the top. Rachel Watt bumped off the ball as she kicked it.
Brotto.
And a free kick here towards the Hawks in the back pocket. Oh, 2.5 minutes to go in this grand final. Baronia 3-8, Basin 3-3. Couldn't have scripted a better finish to this game. Out the back here, Winbacks. Went to McCage. Kufel's here, the runner. She gets past a couple, can take a bounce. She'll kick it forward. Hawks have got some numbers. Baker running onto this, green held. Out the back, well done. The pick up from Davidson. Over the top to Dean. Dean, she's got time. She'll have the set shot on goal. She could have used Davidson.
She could have gone
and that rolls out of bounds, so the Bears will take this. Less than 2 minutes ago. 3-3-21 the Basin, 3-8-26 Boronia.
And the Basin have the uphill battle of having to get this ball coast to coast. But at least they have...
No time to waste. They've got to get this footy right now.
They absolutely do. They've got about 1.5 minutes to get this up the other end.
Boundary.
So we go down to Kate.
And this game has got both callers off their chairs.
It really has. The heart rate is up. McCage tries to reef it out of there for Boronia. We're going to have a stoppage.
Well, all the Hawks really have to do is just trap this footy in their half and they'll win the flag.
That is correct. And Basin will be looking for Winbanks just to bash this forward. She flicks it to the wrong player. It's Delta Greenold. Goes inside 50 for Boronia.
Free kick.
And must have been off the ball a little bit. I'm not sure who that's going in the direction of. Is it a Boronia kick? What has happened there?
Davidson.
It is Davidson for Boronia. So this would ice the game.
Well, with 40 seconds left, Dylan, all she has to do is just take your 30 seconds here, get a score, and then just lock this footy back in. But it's turned over the mark. Taken there. On the deep in defence. Baker to clear it out. We've got 25 seconds left. Can they go coast to coast? Here's Alston out at half back.
Got to go.
The Bears go down the line. Far side. Mark almost taken. Ball hits the deck. Who can be the hero for the Bears? They've got 10 seconds. They're going to run out of time here. The time ticks down. We've got 5 seconds. And it is Boronia, the Division 1 premiers in the senior women's competition. 3-8-26. The Basin 3-3-21. They hold on by 5 points in an absolute thriller out at H.E Parker Reserve.
And this grand final, it gave us everything we wanted and more, didn't it, Ryan?
Oh, incredible finish. And you feel for the Bears because both sides would have deserved a flag here. They were both fantastic. But it is Boronia who win out by 5 points, 3-8-26 to 3-3-21. Congratulations to Scott Nicholas and the Boronia Football Club. What a game.
Astonishing stuff. And, you know, in the end, I think it was Boronia just loaded up complete 4 quarters and they were just a complete pressure rate. They started slowly and it was the Basin in the first quarter, but I think it was 2-3. And they probably won here. They managed to put a full game performance together there.
Yeah, certainly. After quite a time, they saw it and unfortunately the Basin, they just went up again. Another goal after that. There's a big opportunity. We almost had extra time. It's Boronia here, Division 1 at Premiers. We're going to take a break. I'll go down there. Dylan, you can stay on the stream. We've got the men's grand final coming shortly, but we also have a presentation in just a moment. So we'll take a break here. The Division 1 Premiership, Boronia 3-8-26, defeating the Basin 3-3-21.
The clock keeps running, right? So clock back, we get set up. just trying to get out. You're getting out.
What?
Get
No, I
out.
was trying to get in.
It's a grand old flag, it's a high-flying flag, it's the emblem for me and for you. It's the emblem of the team we love, the team of the brown and the gold. Every heart beats bold for the brown and the gold, as we sing this song to you. Like I said, show the road, the flames and speed, but that you can ride on the brown and the gold.
So we have both the Baronia and the Basin teams to come to the front of the presentation stage of the grandstand. The veteran side, if we can get them to hop off just for a moment until after the presentations, please. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Deakin University Women's Division 1 Grand Final, where Baronia have run out winners here by 5 points. In the end, the score was 26-21. A fantastic game. It was a combination of a great season struggle by these two teams. It was the Basin who finished on top of the ladder. They were knocking at each other's doors all season long, and eventually Boronia got the last laugh. And we'll head down now to the medal presentation.
Can both sides make their way to the presentations. We'll get that underway in just a second, and then both veteran sides please vacate the field for the moment until after the presentations.
Both sides will make their way over to the medal presentation and head down there.
We'll get started on our Division 1 premiership presentations here. Commiserations to the Basin Football Netball Club. Fantastic effort this season and a fantastic performance today. We'll welcome to the stage Dean O'Neill, the commercial elf, to hand out the umpire awards, so come collect their medals. Infield, Toby Colpin, Poppy Fraser, Sean Lau, Thomas Elford, Wilk Elford, Andrew Wasey, and Patrick Wasey. For each grand final, we have the Blue Ribbon Medal, Judge Beck on field. And for the Division 1 2023 Blue Ribbon medalist from the Boronia Football Netball Club, number 20, Rachel. Number 3, Alan. Number 4, Rachel Quirk. Number 5, the Vice Captain, Ali Doblinson. Number 8, Crystal Chin. Number 10, April Blair. Number 11, Kate King. Number 12, Felix. Number 17, Meg McGurman. Number 19, Delta Greenvale. Number 20, the Blue Ribbon medalist, Rachel Parker. Number 23, Amanda Davis. Number 24, the silver medal. Number 27, Holly Flanagan. Number 30, Alex. Number 36, Carolyn Collins. Number 44, Alex Kidwell. Number 45, Emily Taylor. Number 46, Alicia Carroll. Number 50, Ferrari Ferrari. Number 64. The trainers. Hey. The team manager, Jackie Van Beekman. The runner, Riley Grant. Assistant coach Lachlan Watson. Assistant coach Nicole Dyer. Assistant coach Brad Slater. And the coach, Scott Mitchell.
First of all, just a huge thank you for everyone who came out today and watched a great game of women's football. The standard of footy in the Eastern Football Netball League is incredible. So thank you everyone for coming and supporting the game today. Secondly, to the Basin, to Mark, Maddie, Julia and the team. You've been an incredible team for a long time and you really have been the benchmark for us in our development as footballers. We knew it was going to be a hard-fought contest and we knew it would go down to the wire. We love playing against you and no doubt we'll have a lot of great battles in the future, but try not to drop your feet. You've had an incredible season. You'll be on the bigger next year. Just a very big thank you to the umpires for putting on a great final series here at Heathmont. We're very lucky to have the support of the league and the promotion of women's footy, so we really do appreciate it. To the Baronia faithful who came out today to support we talked about it in the girls during the week that this is the last night first year. We're just out of the first senior women's premiership for that this week. Thank you to all the coaches and support staff, and thank you to the development coaches who weren't up here today, but to Ez, Geordie, Candice and Ray, we wouldn't be where we were without your support, and in particular Candice for everything you do for us to allow us to succeed on the field. Thank you. And to Ray, who's been there since day one, thank you so much for everything you've done for this program. You're a legend, mate. And finally, to our leaders and the girls, what an incredible day. We asked you to do more than you've ever done before, and you levelled up and you absolutely did it, so well done. Go, Oscar.
Premiership Cup, Dean O'Neill. The Premiers, the Division 1 Senior Women, the Baronia Football Netball Club.
Okay, girls, here first. All right, it's your show. All right.